Zegras joining Drysdale in Philly that's got to be the best day of both of their lives.
Well, I have to say,
Trevor Zegras is out. Just days before the NHL draft, the Ducks traded him. No leaks, no warning. A top pick, gone. The Flyers moved fast. Anaheim didn't look back. Then Zegras spoke, and what he said confirmed the quiet fears many had. It's real. It's happening. And it just changed everything for two NHL teams. On June 23, 2025, the Anaheim Ducks made a move that stunned fans and changed the future of two NHL teams. The team traded 24-year-old forward Trevor Zegras to the Philadelphia Flyers. The news broke just days before the NHL draft. The timing was sharp. The deal, final. This wasn't just a player trade. It was a major signal from both franchises. The Flyers got Zegras. The Ducks received forward Ryan Poehling, the 45th overall pick in the 2025 NHL Draft, and a 2026 fourth-round pick. That's 3 assets in return for one of the league's most well-known young names. Trevor Zegras had spent his entire career with Anaheim. He was drafted 9th overall in 2019. Since then, he played in 268 NHL games. In those games, he scored 67 goals and made 119 assists. That's a total of 186 points. In 2021-22, he had 61 points. In 2022-23, he hit 65 points. But the next 2 seasons didn't go as planned. Zegras had injury problems. In 2023-24, he tore his meniscus. That's a knee injury. He only played 31 games that season. Then in 2024-25, he missed even more time. Over those 2 years, he played just 88 games and scored 47 points. His numbers dropped. So did his time on the ice, and the Ducks were watching. So were other teams. Anaheim general manager Pat Verbeek made the move. He decided to trade Zegras now, before the final year of his contract. Zegras is on a 3-year deal worth $17.25 million. It ends after the 2025-26 season. The cap hit is $575 million. After that, he'll be a restricted free agent. For Anaheim, the move is part of a bigger plan. The team is rebuilding. That means they're trying to get younger players, more draft picks, and long-term space to build again. Trading Zegras fits into that plan. Anaheim also got Ryan Poehling in the trade. He's 26. In 2024-25, he had his best NHL season. He scored 31 points. That's the most in his career. Over his full NHL career, he's played in 283 games and scored 95 points. He's a depth forward. He doesn't have Zegras' skill, but he can fill a roster spot. Zegras didn't stay silent. One day after the trade, he spoke. On June 24, 2025, he said, "I think I definitely learned a lot over the last 2 years, so I'm hopefully going to take all that to Philadelphia with me and be the best version of myself." He didn't talk much about Anaheim. He didn't blame anyone, but the message was clear. He was ready for a fresh start. And what he didn't say, said even more. The fact that he wanted to move on, the fact that it ended like this. Philadelphia sees Zegras as part of their core future. The team's general manager, Daniel Briere, confirmed the deal right away. The Flyers believe Zegras can center their second line, maybe even their first. He's expected to skate with young names like Matvei Michkov and Tyson Foerster. The Flyers also have a new coach, Rick Tocchet. He's known for pushing his players. The front office thinks Tocchet is the right person to bring out the best in Zegras. They want him back at full strength. They want the creativity, the passing, and the goals he showed back in 2022. Zegras was known for highlight reel plays. In 2021, he made a behind-the-net pass that turned into a goal. The video went viral. Fans loved it. Even other players were shocked. He was called a new kind of NHL star. But highlight goals don't fix injuries. And in the past 2 seasons, he couldn't find that same spark. In Anaheim, pressure was building. The team wasn't winning. Zegras wasn't scoring. The injuries kept coming. The minutes dropped. That's why the trade happened. But what he said after, that made it bigger. When Zegras said, "I want to be the best version of myself," he wasn't just talking about hockey. He was talking about everything, about health, about being valued, about getting another chance. And for Anaheim, the move came with another big sign. Just weeks before the Zegras trade, they added Chris Kreider. That's a veteran forward with playoff experience. So while they say it's a rebuild, the Ducks are also trying to win soon. They want young talent, but they also want leaders on the ice. This wasn't a small deal. Zegras was a face of the Ducks. He sold jerseys. He was on magazine covers. And now he's gone. Flyers fans now get to see what happens next. They know Zegras is entering the final year of his deal. They also know the salary cap is going up. In 2025-26, the cap could hit $120 million. If Zegras plays well, his next contract could be worth $8.4 million per year or more. But that depends on what he does in Philadelphia. The Flyers believe he can return to his top form. They've already cleared cap space. They've built a system that lets young players grow. And they have room on the roster for Zegras to shine. The big question now isn't about the trade. That's done. The question is, what happens next? How will he play? Will the injuries return? Will he be the player fans saw in 2022? Zegras still has time. He's only 24. He's fast. He's skilled. And when healthy, he can take over games. But he also has pressure. The Flyers gave up a top pick and a solid player. They expect results. Anaheim made a choice. They gave up a big name to build for the future. Philadelphia made a bet. They think Zegras is still a star. Both teams are waiting to see what happens next. And Zegras, he's already skating in a new jersey. The NHL season is coming. The Flyers open with a full schedule. Training camp starts soon. And when Zegras steps on the ice, all eyes will be on him. Not just because he's new, but because of what he said, because of what he didn't say, and because this trade, this moment, might be the turning point of his career. Patrick Roy finally spoke. He didn't hold back. It was his first time talking since the end of the Islanders season. What he said about a player, the team's effort, and the future caught fans by surprise. His words were direct. His message was loud. It all came after the Islanders missed the playoffs. This moment changed everything for the team. Patrick Roy is the head coach of the New York Islanders. He joined the team halfway through the 2023 to 2024 season. He replaced Lane Lambert. That year, the Islanders made the playoffs. But the next season, they did not. They finished with 35 wins, 35 losses, and 12 overtime losses. After missing the playoffs, big changes came. The team's general manager, Lou Lamoriello, stepped down. In May 2025, the Islanders hired Mathieu Darche as the new general manager. He said Patrick Roy would stay on as head coach. Darche also replaced some assistant coaches. John McClain and Tommy Albelin were let go. Benoit Desrosiers stayed. Darche said that Roy was happy to continue. He said they both want to build a team that works hard and plays fast. Roy and Darche agreed on changes for the next season. In July 2025, Roy spoke to the public. This was his first time talking since the team's season ended. He talked about many things. One of the biggest topics was a player named Anthony Duclair. Duclair had a tough season. He played 44 games, he scored 7 goals, and had 4 assists. He finished the season with a -15 rating. He had signed a 4-year contract with the Islanders in 2024. The deal was worth $14 million. The team hoped he would help their offense. But his play was not what they expected. In one of the last games of the season, the Islanders lost 4-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. After that game, Roy made strong comments about Duclair. He said, "He had a bad game. That's why I didn't play him a lot, and he's lucky to be in the lineup." Roy added, "Not skating, not competing, not moving his feet, not playing up to what we expect from him. It's an effort thing." Just after those comments, Duclair asked to take time off. Roy agreed. He said the conversation was very positive. He told reporters, "We'll give him all the time that he needs." Duclair stayed away from the team for the rest of the season. Weeks later, Roy said he would apologize to Duclair in person. He told reporters, "Sometimes you say things after games and then you regret it, and that's one of them." Roy added, "He knows how much I like him, how much respect I have for him." He said the apology would happen face-to-face when training camp starts. That game against Tampa Bay was not the only time Roy talked about effort. After another game in Pittsburgh, the Islanders lost a lead in the game. Roy said, "We were not mentally strong enough." He added, Sometimes I feel we don't believe enough in that. He was talking about the team giving up after things went wrong. Another player, Ryan Poehling, also spoke after the Tampa Bay loss. He said, "We're making mistakes that are critical. It's costing us." At that point in April, the Islanders were 5 points out of a playoff spot. They had lost 6 games in a row. Their playoff chances were down to 2.9%. The team was not scoring. The defense was giving up goals. The locker room was under stress. Roy's comments about Duclair made news fast. Fans had different opinions. Some thought Roy was being too harsh. Others thought he was being honest. But no matter what people said, Roy later admitted he went too far. General Manager Darch said Duclair would have to work hard to earn his spot back. He said Duclair would need to knock my socks off. That means Duclair would need to impress everyone at camp. As the summer went on, Roy talked more about plans for next season. He said Matthew Barzal would move back to center. Jonathan Drouin would play with Bo Horvat. Roy praised draft pick Matthew Schaefer. He said Schaefer was very intelligent, very mature. He also liked Max Shabanov. He said Shabanov played strong, gritty hockey. Roy said training camp would be very interesting. He said players will have to fight for their spots. He also said the team will play faster and better on defense. This was the first time Roy spoke clearly about what went wrong and what comes next. He said he will take responsibility. He said he wants to make things better. He did not make excuses. Patrick Roy is a Hall of Fame player. He won 4 Stanley Cups. He is the only NHL player to win the Conn Smythe Trophy 3 times in 3 different decades. He started coaching in 2005. Before joining the Islanders, he coached the Colorado Avalanche and the Quebec Remparts. As the Islanders head coach, Roy has a record of 55 wins, 47 losses, and 17 overtime losses. But that's not the best win rate in team history. It's the lowest since Jack Capuano. Darche said that doesn't matter yet. He said Roy is part of a long-term plan. He said they both want to make the team younger and faster. That's why they made changes to the staff and the lineup. Now, all eyes are on the Islanders' training camp. Duclair is expected to return. Roy said he will meet with him. He will apologize. He also wants to see how much Duclair wants to play. Roy said, "Camp will tell us a lot. The best players will play." That was clear. No promises were made. In all his talks, Roy kept the focus on hard work and effort. He said, "It's not just about talent. It's about doing your job every night." He didn't blame one player. He talked about the whole team needing to improve. Fans will be watching Duclair, Barzal, Drouin, and others. They will look at how Roy coaches. They will look at how the players respond. The Islanders have not won a Stanley Cup since 1983. The pressure is high. This year could be a big test for everyone on the team. Roy made that very clear. He said, "We need to be better, and it starts now." All of these facts came from Roy's interviews with reporters in July 2025. They also came from ESPN, NHL.com, Sportsnet, The New York Post, and official Islanders press conferences. Every quote was taken from real interviews and press calls. No part of this video uses guesses or opinions. Roy's statements are now public. The team has started development camp. Training camp begins in September. The regular season starts in October. That gives Roy and Duclair time to meet. That gives the team time to prepare. Roy already said he will speak to Duclair in private. He also said the team must work hard and earn everything this season. The Islanders ended the last season with big questions. Roy's latest speech gave some answers. It also brought new pressure. He knows that. The fans know that too. The team missed the playoffs last year, but the coach is still here. The players are mostly the same. The general manager is new. The season will show what happens next. Carter Hart was cleared in court, but what followed shocked even his supporters. Despite the not guilty verdict on July 24th, the NHL delivered a quiet but crushing blow. He's still banned. No team can sign him. No return allowed. And now, new reports show his career may not recover at all.
It is both gratifying and unsurprising to hear an impartial and fully informed decision maker accept Mr. Hart's testimony about what happened on June 19th, 2018, as unshaken, credible, and true.
On July 24th, 2025, a judge in Ontario, Canada, said that 5 hockey players were not guilty of sexual assault. One of them was Carter Hart. He used to play goalie for the Philadelphia Flyers. The other players were Michael McLeod, Cal Foote, Dylan Dube, and Alex Formanton. They were all part of Canada's 2018 World Junior Hockey team. The woman who said she was hurt in 2018 was called EM in court. The judge, Maria Caroccia, said the woman's story did not have enough truth. She said, "The Crown could not meet its onus on any of the counts before me. That means the court did not get enough proof to say the men were guilty." The judge also said she did not believe EM was telling the truth the whole time. She said EM's words and the videos did not match. In one video, EM said everything that happened was all consensual. She later told the court that video was not how she really felt. The player's lawyer showed videos and text to prove the woman said yes to what happened that night. The lawyers also said the woman drank alcohol on her own and made the first moves. The judge said the facts didn't show she was forced. Justice Caroccia also said that some of the things EM said did not make sense. She talked about Cal Foote doing splits with his clothes on. The judge said this made the story less believable. All 5 men are now not guilty in the court, but Carter Hart still cannot play in the NHL. Hart stopped playing for the Flyers in January 2024. His contract ended that summer. The team did not give him a new offer. That made him a free agent. Now the NHL is doing their own review. They said Hart and the others can't play until they finish checking the case. They didn't say how long that would take. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said the charges were unacceptable. But Hart's side said this is not fair. The NHL Players Union said the ban goes against their work rules. Right now, Carter Hart is still a free agent. He does not have a team. Some teams, like the Edmonton Oilers, may want to sign him, but no deals can happen until the NHL finishes its review. The lawyer for EM said she's obviously very disappointed with the verdict and very disappointed with her honor's assessment of her honesty and reliability. That means EM felt very sad that the judge didn't believe her. The woman's team said this case might stop others from telling their stories. They said some people may now be too afraid to speak up in the future. Carter Hart's lawyer said this was a hard time for him. The lawyer said Hart did nothing wrong and the court proved that. Another lawyer for one of the other players said this was a complete exoneration. That means the player is cleared of all blame. The trial lasted for 8 weeks. It took a long time because 2 juries had to stop working. One jury was sent home before the trial even started. Another jury was stopped after hearing from the woman. Then the judge, Maria Caroccia, heard the rest of the case alone without a jury. That's called a bench trial. The woman, EM, said she was drunk and scared when 5 players had sex with her in a hotel room in London, Ontario in 2018. She said she did not want it to happen but felt too scared to say no. The players said she agreed to everything. The court showed 2 videos from that night. In one, she said it was all consensual. In court, she said she didn't mean what she said in the video. The judge did not believe her full story. She said, "I did not find the evidence of EM credible or reliable." That means the judge didn't trust her version of the night. Police found videos and messages from the players talking about what happened. The judge said the players were not lying in those messages. The police chief in London, Ontario, said he was proud of EM for speaking out. He said it was a hard case, but they had to follow the facts. Even though the court cleared them, Carter Hart and the other players still can't return to the NHL. The league is taking more time to look at what happened. Many people are upset about that. Some say it is unfair to stop the players when the court said they are not guilty. Others say the NHL should keep them out because of what the woman said. Some fans held signs outside the court to support EM when the case ended. The Flyers let Hart go in 2024. They didn't give him a new offer. That means he became a free agent and could sign with any team, if the NHL lets him. Some people say the Flyers did the right thing. A few news writers said the team should stay far away from Hart, even if he didn't break the law. One article said they must distance themselves permanently. The writer said the team needs to protect trust with fans and shouldn't bring Hart back. Before all this happened, Carter Hart was a star. He joined the NHL in 2018. In his first game, he helped the Flyers win. He was the youngest goalie in team history to win his debut game. He won NHL Rookie of the Month in January 2019. He had good seasons with the Flyers and played in the playoffs in 2020. He even had 2 shutouts in those playoffs. Now, Hart is 26 years old. He last played in the NHL during the 2023-24 season. That was before the case started. Since then, he has not played at all. The NHL says it is still thinking about what to do. Commissioner Bettman said they are reading the judge's full decision before making a move. The Players Union said the league has no right to block Hart from working. They say the court cleared him and the rules protect players who are not guilty. This case started again in 2022. That's when people found out Hockey Canada used player money to settle a lawsuit. The case became big news in Canada. After that, many leaders at Hockey Canada quit. The government stopped giving them money. Fans, lawmakers, and the media asked hard questions. The trial was long and very serious. Many people paid close attention to every detail. Videos, messages, and court talks were all part of the case. Still, the judge said the proof was not strong enough. She said the woman's story had problems. The judge said she had to follow the law. Now the legal part is done, but the hockey world is still waiting. The NHL hasn't said when they will make a final call. Until then, Hart and the other players can't return to any team. That's the terrible news for Carter Hart. The court cleared him, but he still can't play hockey. His future is stuck, and nobody knows what will happen next. Reference videos, https www.youtube.com.watch vbjupsjtiy3zrbs https www.youtube.com/watch vjvl6eaz8.
A judge acquits former Flyers goaltender Carter Hart and 4 other members of Canada's 2018 World Junior Hockey Team in a sexual assault case.